Hey y'all, hey everybody, happy Sunday. Welcome in everyone. Hello. Hey Mama 3. Hello my sis. Hey Miss Shaw. Hey Miss Lynn. Good evening, y'all. So yes, y'all, we got some things going on. So I will be multitasking throughout this whole little segment. Because I got to get this baked chicken up in the oven, child. But not right now. I'm cooking 2 packs of thighs, so 1 pack was frozen, but it's almost thawed out. So I got a little time in between, and we gonna get the content and everything started. Hey, Mina Boo, hello, sis. Welcome in. We are definitely talking about Black maternal deaths. For the past couple of days, I'm gonna say a couple of days ago, I came across a video, and it probably was probably no more than about a 15-minute video, but it caught my attention, and it just like I went from that case that was being spoken on, and then it led me to other similar cases within the same city, with similar deaths and everything. And it just really bothered me, y'all. Like I just got into it instantly, and I just got to doing research after research after research. I'd have got my notepad down. I tried to see if it was some type of connection in any type of way. Like, baby, I was in it. So I'm like, let me go ahead and I'm gonna bring this to the forefront. Then once I get done with this live, my next live will be about postpartum depression. We're gonna speak on that. Um, that will be in the next live that I do. So welcome in everybody. Yes, thank you for joining. Thank you for joining everyone. Okay, so and a lot of these cases are pretty similar. You know, um, I'm gonna say it's about a good 9 cases within the same situation of young ladies passing either right after they just gave birth or during birth, you know. And the majority of them was based off of New York City hospitals. Hmm. At first I was like, this just cannot be a coincidence. But I had to literally go into every last one of these cases and these stories from these young ladies to see how they passed, what did the hospital do, you know, what was actually the cause of death and stuff like that. So it was just like mind boggling to me. Yes, it was very mind boggling. So, um, we're gonna start off. It was recently a case that just happened. Actually, today is one of the young lady's funeral that she had just passed away. Her name is Tanisha Evans. She passed February 5th of this year, and today was her funeral. So that pretty much bothered me as well. Hey Aisha, welcome in, sweetie. Happy Sunday. Happy Sunday, y'all. Yeah, so unfortunately, that baby, she passed away as well. The oldest, I think the oldest young lady probably was about 30. Everybody else was under 30 years old, y'all. Under 30 years old. It is insane. I'm not I don't know if any of y'all are familiar with New York City hospitals, but Woodhull Hospital, they literally have like a trend going on. Woodhull Hospital, WOODHULL. Okay. Yes, Woodhull Hospital. So it's 3 cases that, 3 young ladies that I actually came across. It could be more that I actually came across where those 3 ladies passed either right after they gave birth or during birth. The majority of the time, I believe, I think one of them had went in for postpartum depression and never came out. And I believe 2 of them actually died from during the C-section. Yes, that's Brooklyn Mama 3. Yes, 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 yes. And then there's also one that passed at Queens Hospital. Are you familiar with that one as well, Mama 3? Queens Hospital. Another passed away at Cedar Sinai Hospital and also St. John's Hospital. So yeah. So we're gonna get into the first one. We're gonna start with Kira Johnson. We're gonna start with Kira Johnson. She went for a routine C-section, and she was at Cedar Sinai Hospital. Yeah, it's crazy. It is insane. Like, y'all, when I literally went into this stuff and got into their personal stories, and I was going from like one platform to the next platform just to get information, about what actually happened and what went on, and try to get a little background. It was insane. So let me share my screen and let's try to get some of Kira Johnson's story out there and see, so you all will know exactly what happened with her. Let me share my screen really quick. She also, her husband created a page for her in the movement. This is it right here for Kira for Moms. So this is actually, hold on, I hope y'all can see it. Let me make sure y'all can see it. Okay, y'all probably can't see it, but I'm gonna read it out to y'all anyway. But this is a hospital series of events. This is everything that happened from the time that she actually went into the hospital. This is her. This is the page that her husband created. He advocates for her and other women as well. So she was at Cedar Sinai. So it says, Kira Johnson tragically lost her life after a routine C-section at Cedar Sinai. Kira was allowed to bleed internally for more than 10 hours before the medical staff at Cedar Sinai took action. We fight to make sure this never happens to another mother. More women die in the United States each year than any other civilized country in the world. So these are the hospital events. I'm going to start off. So at 12:30 p.m., y'all, 12:30 p.m., Kira was admitted to Cedars Sinai Hospital on April 12th of 2016 at approximately 12:30 p.m. for a routine cesarean delivery. At 2:33 p.m., she gave birth to her son, Langston, at 2:33. At 3 p.m., Kira was out of the operating room and was taken to the post-anesthesia care unit shortly before 5 p.m. Blood-tinged urine was seen in Kira's Foley catheter. All right, now that was at 3 p.m. At 5:24 p.m., Kira's Foley catheter was draining bright red blood. Dr. Nam, I believe, was made aware of his patient Kira's situation. So at 6:44 p.m., It wasn't until 6:44 that a surgical emergency CT scan was ordered that ultimately was never performed. All right. So this is what, a little over 3 hours later, when they actually noticed that it was blood up in her Foley. So next, at 11:42 p.m., let me go down. 11:42 p.m., two physicians were at Kira's bedside, and one performed an ultrasound that found expanding hematoma and now free fluid. They recommended taking Kira to surgery to identify the source of the bleeding. However, Dr. Nam, who was also at the bedside at this time, wished to continue. Hold on. Wished to continue expectant management at this time. So that was at 11:42 p.m., y'all. Look at all of these hours that's steady, and they already knew that this young lady was already bleeding blood excessively. So now it's 11:42. So let's go to 12:30 a.m. It is now a whole nother day. 12:30 a.m. As Kira's condition continued to rapidly decline, her husband Charles pleaded for help. Kira was finally taken to surgery approximately around 12:30 a.m. on April 13, 2016. 10 hours from the time when the family initially realized something was wrong and pleaded for help. At 2:22 a.m., y'all, 2 hours later, almost 2 hours later, doing surgery, Kira was found to have 3 liters of blood in her abdomen and did not survive the blood loss. Kira was pronounced dead at 2:22 a.m. on April 13, 2016. The autopsy stated that the cause of death was due to hemorrhagic shock due to acute basically massive internal bleeding, post-cesarean section. Like, for real, they've been knowing all these hours that this baby was sitting up here just bleeding from the time that she gave birth. Ain't got the nerve. I'm still just like, it's annoying, y'all. I'm sorry. But then the next day, yeah, that was it. 2:22. That's her story, y'all. Can y'all imagine? Like, seriously, can y'all imagine? It's ridiculous. So that's the first case that I wanted to bring to y'all. The second case. Is Christine Fields. Let me go ahead and stop sharing this one. Now remember, Kira was at Cedars-Sinai Hospital. So let me stop sharing this and I can get to the next one. 3 liters of blood. Yes, like, come on now, make it make sense. Excuse me. So we're going to go to Christine Fields. I believe she was the oldest one. So let me come back and share my screen with her for her situation. Make sure everything is right. Okay. Yes, 3 liters of blood. Like, they just sat there. They knew all of those hours. 10 hours though. 10 hours. Michelle said, and she said, my son and his wife was really good lawyers out of Texas. Now the hospital is trying to go bankrupt. Wow. Baby. I mean, I know for sure that Woodhall Hospital, they got a couple of lawsuits coming their way. I'm not too sure about the other one. And I'm not too sure as far as with Kira's situation, if her husband actually decided to sue the hospital or whatever for her situation. But for Woodhall, oh yeah, baby. They got a couple of lawsuits coming their way. Misha say, Superfan, it's sad and statistics show Black females are more likely to lose their life during a pregnancy and birth. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Very much so. That's what the statistics say. But within these cases, statistics, okay, I get it. People, they can say, or, say however it is that, whatever it is that they believe. But when you look at these situations, it's just plain out neglect to me. That's what it looked like. When it had to do with these situations that I'm getting ready to bring up and that we're going to read about, this is just plain neglect. That's what this is. This is neglect from the hospital. Because you got these are a lot of young mothers. A lot of them wasn't drinking, they wasn't smoking, they were perfectly healthy. But then yet you have, in some of these cases, you actually have where the doctors was pretty much just trying to make the patient have a C-section. Now, I done had 4 kids now, y'all. Mind you. And all my kids came naturally. I gave birth naturally for all my kids. So it's just like what I know, and I ain't no doctor or nothing, but I ain't no damn fool either. But when it comes down to having a cesarean, that's normally just for emergency purposes if you actually have to have one. Or if you had a cesarean before, 9 out of 10, you might have to have a cesarean again if you get pregnant again. They will suggest if you had one before, okay, then do it again. But if this is your first pregnancy, they always suggest that you have a vaginal, a regular vaginal delivery. So for doctors to sit up here and be trying to force patients to sit up here and have a C-section for a first-time mom is ridiculous. That is really ridiculous. Mama 3 say, I'm in the Bronx. We have great hospitals here. Okay, baby. It's a lot of hospitals, but unfortunately, a lot of this stuff, I never been to New York, so I don't know. I'm only going by what's actually being said, and when it comes down to these cases, but I'm in Chicago, and we got a lot of good hospitals, but we also have some messed up hospitals too, like real talk. But malpractice can happen anywhere. Michelle say he could sue them for different reasons. My kids has 4 lawsuits. Each parent, then my grand, has 2 separate ones for her. Mama 3 said I had a C-section for my last, and it was crazy. Anemic, and was losing a lot of blood, and I needed a transfusion, 3 bags of blood. Yes, baby. So let me go ahead and read this to y'all. This is a different case. This is Christine Fields. She was the 30-year-old Black woman. She bled to death after giving birth at Woodhall Medical Center in Brooklyn. State investigators said the cause was a doctor's mistake. So this is her husband right here, Jose Perez. No, her fiance, my bad. This was her fiance. Okay, let's get to the story. And mind you, Christine Fields, she died November 13th of 2023. Investigators with the New York State Department of Health have concluded that a troubling lapse by a surgical team at a hospital in Brooklyn resulted in recent death of a 30-year-old mother who gave birth by cesarean section, according to document obtained by the New York Times. It is the second known instance in recent years in which state health authorities have blamed doctors for a maternal death at Woodhull Medical Center, long regarded as one of the weaker hospitals in the city's large public hospital system. The death of the woman, Christine Fields, in November brought renewed attention to the racial disparities around childbirth in New York City. Ms. Field was Black. In New York City, Black women are 9 times more likely to die during childbirth than white women. That disparity is far sharper than the national one, and the range of public officials. Okay, so let's get to the case. Few details about what caused Miss Fields' death have emerged. She had been in labor at Woodhull when a change in fetal heart rate prompted alarm. Doctors decided that an emergency C-section was necessary. In the hours after her son was delivered, Miss Field bled to death, according to the medical examiner office. But Woodhull has yet to offer the family any explanation for why it was so slow to detect Miss Field's deteriorating condition, according to her fiancé, Jose Perez. A 2-page state health department document obtained by the New York Times sheds some light on what happened. The document, dated December 18th, describes how a mishap at Woodhull resulted in maternal death and violated federal health standards. The document does not mention Ms. Fields by name, but a doctor at Woodhull said that it is clearly referring to Ms. Fields' death. The detail matched, according to the doctor, who insisted on anonymity. I hope I pronounced that right, because the doctor was not authorized to discuss the matter. In addition, the document date is just 5 weeks after Ms. Fields' death. The document states explicitly that an error by a medical staff member resulted in her death. It describes a troubling communication breakdown in which the surgical team, a reference to the staff members who performed the C-section, did not alert others of complications that arose during surgery. The most serious of those was a uterine arterial injury. State Health Department investigator concluded. The injury also wasn't mentioned in initial medical records pertaining to the C-section. Why not, though? It's insane. This is insane. Mr. Perez recalled that Ms. Field quickly deteriorated after she was sent to the recovery room following the procedure. He kept trying to talk to her, but got little response. He searched for ice to put on her lips. He found the nurse and told her that there was something very wrong. Miss Field's head had slumped to one side, Mr. Perez recalled, which is her fiance. Soon, medical staff members were performing CPR on her. How this woman just bleed to death? So it's obvious that when they did her C-section, somebody was cutting probably a blood vessel, or whatever, had to, for her to just be bleeding out like that. They had to. The medical workers caring for Ms. Field did not detect her complications quickly, according to Mr. Perez, and seemed taken aback as she grew less responsive. Neglect. The lack of documentation and lack of communication about the uterine arterial injury resulted in maternal death. This should not be happening in this city to anyone. A lawyer for the family. The document does not provide a detailed account of the C-section, the complications that arose, or what care Ms. Field received afterwards. Rather, it includes the initial findings of the health department investigators who conducted an inspection of labor and delivery floor at Woodhull. It focuses specifically on violations of safety and health regulations, such as the requirement that surgical complications be recorded in a report immediately after a procedure. Child. Hold on, y'all. My crazy daughter calling. Okay. So, let's say the circumstances of Miss Fields' death so alarmed health inspectors that they required some Woodhull employees to review certain hospital policies or receive training in order for the labor and delivery floor to remain open. According to two employees at the hospital who were informed of what had happened to Miss Field, but who asked to remain anonymous because they were not authorized to discuss the case. There is need for immediate action for patients undergoing procedures to prevent serious adverse outcomes. The health department informed Woodhull top administrator according to the document. Oh my God. So yes, that's pretty much okay. So let me get here because they talking about this then at third. Okay. So it says Miss Field is not the first mother to die while giving birth at Woodhull because of a doctor's error. In 2020, a 26-year-old first-time mother, Shaija Simple, and I do have her case as well, y'all. So she is included with this, with the list that I have. Shaija. Shaija Simple stopped breathing following a botched epidural. In addition, in misplacing the epidural. How the hell do you misplace an epidural? Are you for real? The anesthesiologist inserted a breathing tube down Miss Simple's esophagus rather than her windpipe. Mm, mm, mm. So now they don't know the difference, huh? The State Department concluded instead of delivering oxygen to her lungs, the ventilator pumped air into her stomach. Make it make sense. Let me come back to y'all for a minute. Let me see what y'all saying because, baby, it's a lot, y'all. It's a lot. Misha say they try to cover their asses any way they can, but a good lawyer would catch it. They even tried to say my kids didn't need money because my grand got disability, which was denied to them. Wow. Welcome in, sis. Hey, Miss Sexy. I had to come back and because I like a lot of this stuff is just despicable, y'all. Like seriously. Um Michelle said they said my kids own too much property, so my grandbaby couldn't receive disability. Her mom is a nurse and dad owns trucks. So they pay everything out of pocket for her needs. Yes, Mama Three, like what the hell? Like can't make this stuff up. Like I just was like, it was crazy. It was crazy when I was reading these stories. Okay, let me get back to it because I'm almost done with this part. Like, and they say instead of delivering oxygen to her lungs, the ventilator pumped air into her stomach. The anesthesiologist responsible, Dr. Dimitri, had a troubling track record. Even before Miss Simple died in July 2020, the doctor was subsequently stripped of his medical license in New York, and he moved back to Russia, where he had grown up. That's some shit. Just that simple, huh? Just that simple. It's okay. He could take a life. He can take a life, get his license taken, and he could just go on back to his merry own way. There are typically between 20 and 30 maternal deaths in New York City each year, mainly from infection, embolisms, overdoses, or a hemorrhage. Most of the deaths are deemed preventable. Under half occurred during childbirth or within a week after. About 1,200 to 1,500 babies are delivered each year at Woodhall, a large rust-colored structure that rises above the rumbling elevated tracks of the J&M trains, where the Bedford neighborhood bordered Bushwick and Williamsburg. Child. Okay, so let me go. Because of the death of Miss Simple and Miss Fields, both of whom are black, Woodhall has emerged as a symbol of source of New York's maternal morality crisis. But for many expecting mothers in recent years, the hospital has regarded as an excellent place to give birth because of the strong role that midwives play on its labor and delivery floor. A nurse midwife who worked at Woodhall and is also a researcher, Mimi Now, said she considers the hospital one of the safest places to give birth because the midwives who attend most vaginal births there. And that's exactly what they should have had. I'm shaken to my core because I've always promoted the care of Woodhall as exemplary care of what a strong midwifery service can do in public hospitals. Miss Fields' family had said she hoped to have a vaginal birth, but that's when the fetal heart rate began to drop. Doctors had insisted on a C-section for the health of her baby. I don't know. I don't know about all that, child. Like for real, because no matter what, C-section be basically like the last resort. You know what I mean? Like we all know that a C-section would be the last resort that they actually want to do. Not actually, not something that they're suggesting unless it's really an emergency. You know what I mean? So that's baffling to me. So we're gonna go now to Tanisha Evans. Tanisha Evans, she's the most recent case whose funeral was today. Her She did not get any media attention for her case. So a lot of her stuff is basically on I think it's probably maybe one or maybe two videos online on YouTube. And then you have some people that actually a couple of pages on Instagram. So also I have Tanisha Evans' mother, her Facebook page as well. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna go on this YouTuber, because he posted this 3 days ago. I'm gonna go on this YouTuber video for Tanisha because hers is so recent. She don't have any media coverage. Okay, so let me share my screen. Hey Reed, I'm sorry y'all. If I ain't see y'all, it's because I was on a different screen. I was on a different screen. That's all. Hello Reed. Hey y'all. Um. Okay. So we're gonna view this video for Tanisha Evans, who just recently passed away February 5th of this year, and today is her actual funeral. I believe that Tanisha gave birth to twin boys. So she gave birth to twin boys, y'all. So here we go. This video is probably it's 11 minutes long, and he's going to give a little bit of information as well as far as when it got to do with Tanisha. Instead of me going from one platform to the next, he can pretty much just sum everything up within this one video. And then we're going to continue to keep going, taking each case by case. Here we go, y'all.
Institutions and racist Caucasian people accountable, because when it comes to us, when we commit crimes, they have no problem holding us accountable. Tanisha Evans was 25 years old. Her birthday was next month. So what they did to her, you think I'm gonna let that slide? Hell no. And I did multiple videos on Black women going into labor in New York hospitals and being unalived by these doctors on purpose. Matter of fact, here's a recent story that I covered, and it still hurts my heart to this day. Check this out.
She made me so proud. And now I don't have that in my life anymore. Now I have to help raise 3 kids that don't have a mother. I miss my daughter so much. And I need to know what happened to my daughter.
With tears in her eyes and her daughter's picture on her shirt, Deneen Witherspoon is crying out for answers in the death of her daughter, Christine Fields, who died after giving birth at NYC Health and Hospital's Woodhull earlier this month.
My daughter was healthy. My daughter was 30. My daughter did everything right. She had a birthing plan. Nothing was followed according to a birthing plan. And now I don't have my child. And this just hurts my heart so much.
Families say Fields had to have an emergency C-section in the late hours of November 12th, ultimately causing her to go into cardiac arrest, according to a lawsuit served to the hospital Thursday.
Her baby's heart rate drops and there's fetal distress. She's rushed in for a C-section, and we are investigating and have learned from the ME's office that there was pooling blood.
Fields leaves behind 3 children, including her newborn baby and her fiance, Jose Perez, who has spent the last 2 weeks trying to piece together a nightmare.
We just thought it was going to be a regular birth, like our first, second kid,
The tragedy comes 3 years after the death of Shaija Washington, who also died during an emergency C-section at the hospital in 2020. City data from 2019 shows that Black mothers across the 5 boroughs are more than twice as likely to die giving birth than white mothers. A spokesperson for the hospital says the health and safety of our patients is our highest priority, and we express our sincere condolences to those affected by this tragic loss. NYC Health and Hospitals has a steadfast commitment to providing quality, dignified, culturally responsive care to all New Yorkers without exception.
Now imagine your fiance you just proposed to, y'all have kids already, y'all already happy, you're about to add another child to the family. They give you that call and say there's a problem. Now your fiance is dead. Make that make sense. This man will never be the same. Her family will never be the same. And like I always say, if the family can't sleep or live in peace, those doctors, those nurses that had anything to do with this death, they shouldn't be able to live or sleep in peace. Tanisha Evans had twins. She died February the 5th, 2025. Today is March 13th, 2025. You have no articles about this like it never happened. This wasn't even on the news like it never happened. Make that make sense. But ironically, I know someone that's a part of this family, and they ran down the whole story to me. So I do have some information. And this is by Tanisha Evans' mother, and warning, is real raw. What will I do without you? Mommy is not all right. It's always the good one. Sending my daughter to St. John's Hospital was a big mistake. Never knew they would treat my daughter like she was nothing. My daughter had a botched up C-section at this effed up hospital. My child would still be here if they just gave her the medicine she needed and not send her home in 4 days after having a C-section with twins. Also send my baby home with preeclampsia, knowing that it would unalive her. My daughter, Tanisha Evans, never had a bowel movement for 15 days from January 21st until February the 5th, 2025. They told my daughter all she needed to do is pass gas and urine
I'm sorry, y'all. I'm just sitting up here just talking, and I had the whole thing on mute, child. Hey, Rashida, welcome in. But I wanted to stress the whole fact of the 15 days without having a bowel movement. Can you imagine? Can you seriously imagine not having a bowel movement for 15 days? So what I was saying before I realized that I was still muted was that my mom, when she was at a point where she was very sickly. She was going back and forth from the hospital to the nursing home because she needed extended care, 24-hour care, so um while she was in there, I was going up there like every day. If not every day, it was every other day. Then just basically you got to show your face when your loved one is up in one of them nursing homes, or I don't care what type of nursing home it is. You need to, as a family member, you need to show your face. Let them know that this loved one of yours is loved and cared for, and you stay on their tail. Like seriously, else they would treat your loved one like crap. Seriously, they would probably treat a pet better than they would treat your loved ones. And that's also a whole total different story. But I wanted to bring this up as well, is that when they over medicated her, I realized it because she wasn't even able to realize her own grandbabies. She knew who I was. And then not only that, she had her TV off. And trust and believe, my mom, she sleeps with her TV on. She don't like darkness at all, period. So she slept with her TV on all the time. So I walk in there, I'm looking, I'm like, why your TV off, Mom? She was like, something is going on with that TV. She was hallucinating. She had started to hallucinate, and she was saying like the TV was talking to her and all kind of stuff, and like something was wrong. And I'm like, from that point, I got the nurse. I let them know. I'm like, what type of medication? What is y'all giving her? Because I gave y'all a medication list, and she shouldn't be taking nothing other than what she's supposed to be taking. Why is she hallucinating? She wasn't hallucinating a couple of days ago. Why is she hallucinating now? So I went to the head nurse, and I said, I need to see what the medication that y'all is giving her. I need to see it right now. You know, I stood on business, baby, and it is what it is. I say, I don't know what y'all sit up here and have been giving my mom. Y'all been over medicating her. She's seeing stuff. She's hearing stuff. She wasn't like this a couple of days ago. Now all of a sudden, she can't recognize her own grandbabies. It was so hurtful. It was hurtful to me. It was hurtful. I couldn't even cry in front of my mom, but my kids, they couldn't hold it in. Like they looking like they didn't understand like why my grandma don't know who I am. So they was breaking down. You know, I didn't break down until I actually ended up leaving for that evening. And once I got in the car, it was a wrap. I could not hold it in at all. I just didn't want my mom to see me cry. And I was trying to be strong. I was confused. I didn't know what was actually going on. But yeah, y'all have to stay on these doctors' tail, on these nurses' tail. Don't just send your loved ones to the hospital without getting information and knowing the difference between the two, as far as when it comes down to how they are when they went in there, from the time that even if you just leaving for a day and you come back the next day and you see that it's a difference, within your loved one that's up in there. Oh no. Write their names down. Get all of that type of information. So trust and believe. Make long story short, the next day my mom started feeling better. I went back up there the next day, you know, um, and she had started, her memory was coming back and everything like that. And, she was more aware than she was at that time, so that I had just experienced that previous day. So, and of course, I got that list from the nurse, from the head nurse, her medication list. And then once my mom, her memory and all that stuff started coming back, and everything had started to be normal again, she started pointing out to me the pills that they was giving her. She was like, I don't know what this pill is. I don't know what that pill is. Why is they giving me 4 of these different type of pills? I don't know what this is. I say, Mama, if you don't know what it is, don't take it. Just because they give it to you, do not take it. Do not take it. And from that point on, she had started doing better. Not only that, I got my mama up out of there. I packed up her stuff. I packed up her stuff because she has not had a bowel. She at that time she didn't have a bowel movement for or a little over a week. I'm like, y'all can't get her enema or anything. You know what I mean? They like, no, we can't give it to her, but we can ask the doctor and all this and that. I said, y'all got me messed up because she's miserable. She's in pain. She can't eat. She can't do anything because she has not had a bowel movement. People actually pass away, being so backed up, because that stuff is painful. Not being able to, first of all, you're not eating, and then second of all, you cannot have a bowel movement. So it was very, very, very uncomfortable. Baby, I took my mama home. I called the Superior Ambulance. It's a special ambulance service that's out here in Chicago or whatever. They go, pretty much all around the city instead of just the local, being within your local area. I called the Superior Ambulance. They put my mama up in there. Me and my kids packed up her stuff and I took my mama home. My mother felt better probably 2 days afterwards. 2 days afterwards. I got her to make a bowel movement. She was like pain-free and she been great ever since then. A lot of times it be the simplest things that these doctors just will not do because the only thing they concentrate on is that money, that insurance money. And trust and believe, soon as we got there, soon as we got home that following day, why come to find out the nursing home was trying to take her little disability check. Oh no, baby. I called Social Security so quick and we flipped that stuff so quick. Or whatever y'all want for to get nothing. Nothing at all. So that was that, y'all. Let me get back into it. I'm sorry, I was jabbing off at the mouth, but that just triggered me a little bit for that baby not to sit up here and have a bowel movement for 15 days. Mm-mm.
Urinate so she can leave. So St. John's Hospital discharged my daughter with all these problems. Never called to check on her. Nurse never asked my daughter, did she make a bowel movement? Just don't understand how they cut my daughter like that with a shifted uterus. This all on St. John's Hospital in Far Rockaway, Queens. Please don't take your family or friends to this hospital. It's a teaching hospital only. My daughter was scared to have this C-section. The doctor asked her if she wanted a C-section. My daughter said no, and they never gave my daughter Tanisha Evans her second shot that she really needed. The doctor said she didn't need it, but the order was in. And she goes on to say Tanisha Evans was healthy. She didn't do drugs, she didn't smoke, or she didn't drink. And I'm starting to see a pattern when it comes to these hospitals. When Black women go into the hospitals into labor, they always forcing them to have a C-section. I'm telling you, this is my opinion. I think they stealing their organs. That's why they always having these complications after the C-section. That's why they forcing them to have C-sections. Most of the times, you don't have to have a C-section. They telling you have to. And a lot of people, they just in the moment, they scared, but they still do it. And it's another reason why they forcing Black women to have C-sections. The hospitals and the doctors getting paid more. And then I did more research on St. John's Hospital in Far Rockaway, Queens. And this what I found. They have a 2.6 star rating. Make that make sense. It's just like Woodhull Hospital in Brooklyn, where 3 Black women recently died while in labor on purpose. The doctors did it on purpose, and they have a 2.4 star rating. How is these hospitals still in business? How are these hospitals still operating? Why is this stuff not in national news. I'm telling you, these hospitals are unaliving our black women and they're moving on with life. That's why I always tell y'all in my videos, when it comes to the news outlets, when it comes to these hospitals, the cops, the lawyers, the judges, the whole system, they all on the same team. She died. Tanisha Evans died February the 5th, 2025. Today is March 13th, 2025. We ain't see no news on YouTube. We haven't saw the news on TV about this. It's no articles about this. They just moving on with life like this never happened. That's why I always tell y'all on my channel, I let none of that stuff slide because like I always say, when it comes to us, they report everything. They report everything. Everything you tell them, they go report. And they might do a little extra. So we got to keep that same energy when it comes to them. We got to put the doctors on Front Street. We got to put the hospitals on Front Street. We got to put the nurses on Front Street because if we don't, they go keep hiding. They go keep unaliving our people, stealing their organs, and moving on with life. And then I took a step back because I didn't know what botched C-section meant. And damn, it gets wild. A botched C-section refers to a C-surgery delivery where the healthcare provider makes a mistake, leading to complications or injuries for the mother or baby, potentially resulting in a medical malpractice claim. So the reason I do these videos is to give my people a voice because I know it gets lonely. When this type of stuff happens, you know who the real family members are. You know who the real ones that really care because these news outlets, they don't care. The hospital, they don't care. They just go move on and do it to another black person. They don't care. They don't have no feelings. They want the money. That's why they force our people to have C-sections because they get paid more and they just brush you to the side like you nothing. But like I say, on this channel, we love our people. We go speak up for our people. And I do these videos because I like to warn our people. Don't do these C-sections, man. If you don't need to do a C-section, 9 times out of 10, you don't. These hospitals, they try to force our people, tell them, no, you don't want a C-section. Matter of fact, record it. Matter of fact, have somebody with you as a witness because they getting away with murder. And look, I ain't the smartest person in the world, but I do have some advice. Get you a doula. Get you a doula that you can trust. Also, find out where these doctors live. If you got a primary doctor that you see all the time, and this gonna be the doctor that delivered your baby, the nurse that around you, find out where this doctor live. Find out everything about his family. Find out who his wife is or her husband is. Find out who the kids are. Find out who their parents are. Find out what type of car they drive. Find out everything and let them know, look, I know where you live. I know where your kids are. So if something happened to me, if something happened to my fiance, if something happened to my daughter, because just imagine over the centuries, over the decades, how many doctors have been getting away with unaliving black women on purpose, and they have no consequences. They just move on because no one is calling them out. So to Tanisha Evans' mother, you are not alone. I'm telling you, this is why I made this video so I can show you and your family, you are not alone. I know y'all having a rally this weekend, Sunday. And look, to all my New York people, I need y'all to go follow this account on Instagram. And the information is all up there. They having a rally for Tanisha Evans at the hospital, at St. John's Hospital in Far Rockaway, Queens. They having a rally. So if you can make it, I need y'all to go up there and support those people because we have to be our own voice. We can't depend on these people. And also, I'm going to put her GoFundMe, or I think it's a Cash App, of the grandmother that's taking care of the twins now. I'm going to put her Cash App or GoFundMe in my description. So if y'all want to send her money and support, we need to start doing that when it's right. Like, we need to start doing that because, like I say, no one have our back. They don't care about us. You see what they doing. These hospitals with 2.6 stars, with 2.4 stars, and they don't give you no other options because the healthcare system is a scam and they do it on purpose. So you have no choice but to go to these hospitals and to deal with these racist doctors, deal with these racist nurses that can unalive you at any minute and move on. So to Tanisha Evans, we love you. I'm making this video. I never met you in my life, but I'm making this video because I care, and it's a warning to other black women, to other black families. Say no to C-sections. I'm out.
Okay, y'all. So I'm posting. I just put Tanisha Evans' mother cash app in the chat for anybody that wants to be a blessing to the family or whatever. Like just like the gentleman says, she recently just gave birth to twin boys, and they so gorgeous too, y'all. Like for real, they are some gorgeous little boys. So yeah, they didn't. I don't believe that they actually. Well, her funeral is today, of course. Well, it was earlier today, but I'm pretty sure the grandmother could use a blessing, and a little helping hand, with her twin babies, her twin grandsons. Ooh, Charles. So yeah, let's go into the next one. It is a lot, y'all. It's a lot. So we are going to go to the case of Denise Williams. This was sad as well. I mean, all of these cases, it's just ridiculous. Misha, she say, he's giving some good advice. Yes, he definitely did. He definitely did. We got to stand. If you don't stand up for something, we'll fall for anything. For real. We will fall for anything. And it's not right. Okay. So the case of Denise Williams, she died she went in for postpartum depression and she never came back out. So let me see, which hospital was she at? She was at Queens Hospital in New York. Well, she died in 2021, August of 2021. This is her babies. I hate when that thing just pick up. Just keep doing that. Okay, so it says the family of a 29-year-old woman who mysteriously died 2 days after being admitted to the hospital for postpartum depression plans to slap the city and its hospital system with a $10 million wrongful death suit. So her family is also, taking legal precautions on her death as well. Denise Williams' mother of a newborn and a 3-year-old died at Queens Hospital Center on August 30th, 2 days after being admitted. The family notice of claim, a precursor to a lawsuit against the city and to the Health and Hospital Corp, contends Williams with a relatively healthy 29-year-old African-American single mother who had just given birth to her second infant July 11th and started exhibiting signs of postpartum depression. We are still investigating all the facts behind Miss Williams' death, and although a dollar amount of loss was claimed, no amount of money can replace the loss of a mother to her 2 infant children. Family lawyer. Okay, that's the family lawyer name. 29 years old, child. Okay, they are talking about. Okay, so it says the autopsy results released last month showed William died of a pulmonary embolism, a blood clot that traveled to her lungs. So how does that go from postpartum to having a blood clot in your lungs? What are these people doing? The city medical examiner who ruled the death natural said obesity was a contributing factor. Are you serious? Oh, God. In the aftermath of the shocking death, Williams' family demanded the state investigate what happened. That baby. Denise went to Queens Center Hospital for help with her postpartum depression, and she mysteriously died. We were left with questions and no answers, and her 2 infant children are now left motherless. Her aunt. And this was so crazy about her case, y'all. I believe that they didn't even let the family know. So this was one article, but it was one. Let me see if I can go back, because it was one article. It was stating that the family, they didn't even let the family know what happened to her, how she died, anything. They didn't even tell the family. So let me go to a different okay. That's Facebook. Yeah, I believe they didn't even let the family know, child. It's crazy. Okay, so it says, oh, come on. Jeez. Give me a sec, y'all. Please be patient with me. I appreciate you. Okay, it say in August, Williams' mom to a 2-month-old and a 3-year-old was rushed to New York City Health Hospital, Queens, for symptoms of postpartum depression. Maggie said Williams was not eating, so she called 911 to get help. 2 days later, McGee received a call from the hospital that her daughter had died. They said, "Do you have a daughter named Denise Williams?" I said, "Yes, I do. Do you want me to come pick her up?" And they said, "No, she is dead." Wow. The circumstances surrounding Williams' death were still unclear Wednesday. The family said they haven't been able to get any answers from the hospital. Loved ones described Williams as a loving person. Her aunt, Charlene McGee, said her death was taking a toll on the family. During the day, she takes care of Williams' 2 children. At night, Williams' sister Belinda takes the kids. Okay. We are committed to providing quality, compassionate, and safe care to all our patients. Bullcrap. I'm not going to even allow that to come up out of my mouth. So here we go. Let's hear the video, y'all. Let's go back.
Acting strange. Not even Williams was acting strange.
Answers. That's all I want is answers.
Linda McGee is not only mourning the death of her 29-year-old daughter, Denise Williams, but her own health is failing. We are talking to McGee by phone at a doctor's office. She tells us last month she noticed Williams was acting strange, not eating, and wouldn't get out of bed, apparently suffering from postpartum depression. So McGee called 911 to get Williams some help. The 29-year-old was taken to Queens Hospital Center, and 48 hours later, Williams died. That's when her mother received this call.
"Do you have a daughter named Denise Williams?" I said, "Yes." I said, "You want me to come pick her up?" They said, "No, I'm just calling to let you know she's dead."
What made matters worse, the family says they could not get any answers from the hospital as to how or why Williams died. She was a mother of these 2 little girls.
I feel emotional. I feel hopeless. I feel anger.
All of those emotions are being felt by William's aunt. During the day, she cares for the children. And at night, it's William's sister who takes over.
We want answers. My nieces deserve answers. One is 2 months, one is 3 years old. I'm trying to hold back my tears, but honestly, this is hard.
The family says from day one, they haven't been able to make sense of anything surrounding William's death, including conflicting information from hospital staff.
How could she get a call stating she's going to be released on the 29th, and on the 30th, she's dead?
In a statement, a spokesperson for New York City Health and Hospitals Queens said, "We are committed to providing quality, compassionate, safe care to all our patients, and we will continue to communicate with the family as appropriate." Now this family joins in the outcry and protest of a bigger issue of maternal mortality among Black women. Here in the city, Black women are 8 times more likely to die from pregnancy-related complications than their white counterparts.
Postpartum and death, it shouldn't even be in the same sentence.
Right now, the family is desperately waiting for the results of an autopsy to determine William's exact cause of death. In the meantime, they say they will not stay quiet. They're planning a rally for next month. Nicole Johnson, Pix 11 News.
March is Ladder Safety Month, and we're talking to the trusted personal injury.
Okay, y'all. So Miss Shaw, this stuff is crazy. It's insane. It is really insane. All of these different cases, and it's so crazy is that they're all similar. They literally all similar. Let's see. We did Tanisha Evans. We did Kira Johnson. We did Denise Williams. We did Christine Fields. Okay, we have Beverly Garcia. Beverly, she also passed away at Woodhall Hospital. I believe that she's the 30-year-old. I think she's the oldest out of the list that I have. And then we have another one, Amber Isaac. Hers really got to me because they really tried to point the finger at COVID-19, because when she passed away, it was in 2020, and the hospital actually tried to make it seem like it had more so to do with, because of the pandemic and the COVID-19 and, however the hospital was operated at that time or whatever. So they tried to pinpoint it on COVID. I'm like, but that baby she ain't had no COVID. So what they got to do with it? COVID ain't had nothing to do with anything. What's so crazy about the Amber Isaac situation? They did not even allow her husband to be in the room while she was getting her C-section, y'all. Didn't even allow him to be there. Talking about because of COVID and all this. And I mean, I get it. Some hospitals do have those type of policies to where nobody can be, but nobody but the surgical team could actually be up in the room. Some hospitals do have that. But it's just mighty strange that this baby ended up dying and couldn't nobody actually be there, after y'all done did what y'all did. The husband wasn't able to go in. He wasn't able to, see her or do anything. Yes, it's very scary. It is very scary. And it's almost like, man, I was just saying to myself, I'm like, Lord Jesus, I'm so glad that I didn't have to have any type of C-section. I'm so glad that I am done having children. Like, baby, just all kind of stuff. But it still just goes to show, like, because I got 2 girls. You know what I mean? Like, and I don't have any grandbabies right now, but that just goes to show, like, me even educating myself on the things that actually has been going on with these particular situations with these mothers and, the postpartum and all of that. Even though I didn't go through a lot of those things, but just to even educate myself about it at this moment in my life, before my children decide to have any children, like I will be able to educate them, in so many different ways and let them know, and I know what to look for. I know what to what warnings to actually let my children know what to look for as well, because it's like it's crazy at this point. It really is. It's almost like, look, just don't go to no hospitals. Let's just get you a midwife, and baby, we can put some water up in the tub. Let's go back old school way, like for real. We can put some water up in the tub or get a little swimming pool, baby, and it is what it is. Yes, Woodhull has a 2.4 rating. 2.4. Why is they even still open, Mama 3? Why is they even still open? Like, that's ridiculous. 2.4? Mama 3 said, I gave birth during COVID. Thank goodness I wasn't alone. Like, for real. That is so screwed up. So, let me, let's go to Beverly Garcia. Let me pull her up real quick. Pull her up real quick. I like how they spelled her name. How her name is actually spelled. Her they spell her name Bevorlin. Beverlyn. Okay, so here we go. Let me share my screen. It is, Miss Sexy. It really is. Like, when I tell you, I was so far into this stuff, and I'm like, oh my God, another one? Another one? Like, I was like, out of this world. I have like 4 pages of notes, and I'm just like, I cannot believe these stories. So I'm going to let y'all hear the news coverage on her.
There have been 3 women who have died during childbirth. All of the women were Black. There are striking racial disparities at some area hospitals. Black women are 9 times more likely to die from pregnancy or childbirth than white women in New York City.
And now a movement to try to pass a law to make hospitals accountable for women who die giving birth. Investigative reporter Kristen Thorne live at Woodhull Hospital in Bed-Stuy with the story. Kristen.
Well, Bill and Sade, the Grieving Families Act would address a lot of things. One of them would make hospitals accountable for providing emotional damages to people who suffer this sort of tragedy. We want to talk about Woodhull Hospital. It has been less than a year that I was here telling you about yet another woman who died while giving childbirth. And here we are again talking about yet another woman. Beverly Garcia Barrios appeared to be a healthy 24-year-old pregnant woman, but that all changed last month when she came to Woodhull Hospital. She wasn't feeling well. Doctors rushed her in for an emergency C-section. The father of her child never saw Barrios again.
The doctor just said that she would has to go in, and then after that they come with the news that she was gone.
Nelson Ramirez still doesn't know what exactly happened to her.
I want exactly the same answers that you asking That's the same thing I ask you.
We also have a lot of questions because this is the third Black or brown woman to die in childbirth at Woodhull Hospital in the last 4 years. It was Shaeja Washington in 2020. She also had an emergency C-section at Woodhull and then died. Last November, it was Christine Fields. The New York City medical examiner said she died of hemorrhaging from a C-section also at Woodhull.
It seems like the same routine. It's always the same routine.
Fields' boyfriend, Jose Perez, says he reached out to Barrios' family after hearing what happened.
I never met this young man in my life. The reason I met this young man in my life, because he's going through what I'm going through. Something needs to be done. Like, that's what it's really about. Like, we just can't keep having this.
New York City Health and Hospitals wouldn't discuss Barrios' case with us because of patient privacy, but said in a statement, over the last years, we have been particularly focused on helping reduce the unacceptable maternal mortality rates among women of color through innovative interventions. The hospital system also tells us that they have hired new leadership here at the hospital in terms of in charge of the OBGYN department as well as the anesthesia department. They say they also are requiring new training for people who deal with pregnancy patients. The New York State Department of Health says they also would not comment on this recent case, the Barrios case, saying that they would not comment on matters that are the subject of an investigation. We're live in Bed-Stuy. I'm Kristen Thorne, Channel 7 Eyewitness News.
Reaching your financial goals can feel...
Yep, y'all. Once again. So that was September 15th. What year was that? 2020. She was the third person. September 15th of 2020. And her family also is taking legal action, of the hospital, towards the hospital as well. So the next person is Shaeja, age 26. Let's go to her real quick. "26 years old, y'all. Y'all see how young they are? So young, all under the age of 30. Like, how are they having all of these complications or whatever so early in life? Like, come on now. It was
part of our healthcare system. Black women are far more.
Having insurance isn't the same as having State Farm. It's like getting Bateman when you need the protection of Batman.
Easy, Batemobile, not too fast, baby.
Never play with poison ivy.
Someone's a flirt.
Bateman, please.
So don't settle for just any insurance when there's State Farm.
Oh, I get it now. Poison ivy.
More likely to die in pregnancy than white women.
And this big picture story today starts with the story of a young Black woman from Brooklyn who died last week during childbirth. How it happened, why it happened, now raising questions and anger.
Here's Eyewitness News reporter Stacey Sager.
She's 26 years old. How does your heart stop at 26?
Friends and family grieving and broken over the sudden death of Shaeja Washington. The young mom-to-be appearing healthy and excited in the final days of her pregnancy. But last week, after entering Woodhull Hospital here in Brooklyn, Shaeja died. It was after an epidural during an emergency C-section, and no one seems to know why. She gave birth to a healthy baby, Chloe, but the baby's father, Juan Lopez, and his family now left to raise her without a mother.
I'm laying at nighttime holding this baby that she should be here holding. It's not fair. It's not right.
About 100 protesters outside the hospital today who agree that systemically the system is failing mothers of color. According to the CDC, Black women are 2 to 3 times more likely to die from pregnancy-related causes than white women. One study suggesting that here in New York City, the situation is 12 times as bleak. and community leaders describing a situation, at least here, that has rapidly deteriorated.
Because 2 years ago, it became the only baby-friendly hospital in this section in Brooklyn. We were making progress.
Woodhull Hospital did not offer any comment today on Shayeja's case, except to offer their condolences to her family and to say they remain committed to maternal health.
But that's not this family's takeaway.
They don't have to practice on nobody. We not guinea pigs. We gonna have to pass it on, and we gonna either you know how to do it or you don't know how to do it.
And they're left demanding justice, even in birth.
Today, we lost a pioneer in New York.
Okay, so let me see y'all comments. Well, okay, this is a sad situation. A BS response. Yes, for real, Mama 3, like for real. Because first of all, that baby that young, like for real, how did her heart just stop? Make it make sense. That's all you're gonna tell me is that her heart just stopped. She didn't had a whole pregnancy, been fine the entire pregnancy, been healthy the entire pregnancy, and as soon as she gets ready to deliver, her heart just randomly just stopped. A healthy 26-year-old. Make it make sense. Like this is not. At some point, once I came to the third person, with these similar situations, I'm like, this is not a coincidence. It's something going on that they don't want people to see or know. They is doing something. They is really doing something to these young ladies. For real. Good people that's coming up in there healthy. Now all of a sudden, they just gone. Like, you can't make this stuff up. You seriously cannot make this stuff up. Okay, so the Amber Isaac Amber Isaac, she actually her case was very sad too. It was heartbreaking to me because she actually had a syndrome called HELLP, HELLP. Basically it was some type of disease that she that was in her blood or whatever, but then she had started to let me see if I can pull her up real quick. But she had started to she actually visioned that she was not gonna make it, that she always felt like she wasn't gonna make it, past the birth of her child. Once she gave birth, she told her husband that she didn't think that she was going to make it, that she was going to be pretty much dead and gone once she gave birth, that she wasn't going to have a successful birth. So, and it's so sad. I looked up what the HELLP syndrome was and everything. I'm trying to get some things together. Let me pull it up real quick first. But see, the thing is, what Amber Isaac case is that she had not been to the hospital. Like the doctors, they wouldn't, they was not like giving her an appointment and stuff like that. Like basically they was neglectful, very neglectful, towards her. Like it was 2 months. They could have pretty much told her that she had a high risk pregnancy because as far as with this particular type of syndrome, my laptop for the die. Hold on, y'all. Let me go get my charger. My laptop up to die. Hold on. Oh, it's coming. Okay. All right. But yeah, she had a high risk pregnancy, but they never actually told her this syndrome that she specifically had. It actually occurs within the age, I believe they said between late 20s and like the middle 30s, and it normally can occur during the pregnancy, like the late trimester of the pregnancy, or even after the birth. So, she didn't even know that that's exactly what was going on with her body, because, during her last trimester, they wasn't giving her no type of doctor's appointments. They was ignoring her. I don't think that she was actually having like complications or nothing like that. But, you really just want to keep going back and forth to the doctor and go to your appointments to make sure you're okay, let alone the baby as well. So, I believe that 2 months before she actually had her son is when she passed away. It's sad. Okay. Superfan say, keep in mind that the organ transplant is a huge market, and I believe that that's what it is, sis. Mina, I really believe that's what it is. I was trying to avoid from saying it. She said, especially on the dark web, allegedly. Yes, I was trying to avoid from saying that because I don't be trying to free people out. But we really got to open up our eyes, because, man, that's what it looked like. That's exactly what it looked like. That's what it's given. Michelle say, Mina, I was an organ donor until my son researched it, and they literally try not to save you. And that's true. That is so true. She said, another reason why our brown boys get pew-pewed by some that are in authority. Mm-hmm. Yeah. I was trying not to even go there, because some folks think you crazy. They don't want to believe certain things. They want to, baby, y'all better open up y'all eyes. Open up your eyes, baby. Misha said, thanks for saying that. I was about to check the box when I renewed my license. Mm-hmm. Yep, I just took mine off too, y'all. When I renewed my license, I believe, when did I do it? I think it was last year. I renewed my license. Yep, and I took mine off because I had always been an organ donor. And I took mine off. Yep, sure did. Let me see if they got a video on here first. Okay, that's an ad. I'm just pre-reading it again, y'all, because I don't want to be reading unnecessary stuff. And she was 26 years old, y'all. She was at Monty Ford. I guess that's how you pronounce it. Medical Center in the Bronx in late April 2020, just days after she had just tweeted, y'all. She had just put a tweet on her Twitter page. Let me see. That's her fiance. I think they got her Twitter on here. What she had posted. This is her and her fiance right here. Beautiful, beautiful young lady. Let me see. They had it on here. Okay, maybe that was a different site. I don't know. But this is what I want to show y'all too. Another thing, as far as what they said that she actually had with this HELP syndrome. If y'all even heard of that before? HELP, HELLP syndrome. Let me know if y'all heard of that. Because I never heard of it until I actually came across this case. I'm like, wow, they make getting pregnant sound so doggone scary now. Like, golly, it went from it being a blessing to it's just scary. They want to send these babies home without their mother. The baby's not even coming home with their mother. Okay, let me pull this up, y'all. Basically, with this young lady, she died shortly right after delivering her baby. But I want to pull up the syndrome that she actually had as far as for her health. That's what I want to pull up. And then we can get ourselves a little educated about some things. Now, I ain't no doctor now, and I ain't up in the medical field. So if I end up skipping some words, I'll just let you know, what I'm actually saying. But HELP syndrome is a serious pregnancy complication characterized by red blood cell breakdown, elevated liver enzymes, child. So that's what it is. Let's see what we can find out if it's preventable or what can we do. Okay, say HELP syndrome is a life-threatening condition that can affect pregnant women, often occurring during the later half of pregnancy or shortly after delivery. So it has something to do with your red blood cells, your red blood cell breakdown. That's what it is. The symptoms of this syndrome are nausea, vomiting, headaches, upper right belly pain, and a general feeling of illness. Some women may also experience blurry vision, chest pain, or swelling. The exact cause of HELP syndrome is not fully understood, but is believed to be related to preeclampsia, a condition characterized by high blood pressure and protein in the urine during pregnancy. So it says the complications are for both mother and baby, including liver damage, bleeding problems, seizures, and even death. Diagnosis through blood tests that check whatever. I'm gonna try hemolysis, elevated liver enzymes, and low platelet count. Treatment. The primary treatment for HELP syndrome is delivery of the baby, as HELP syndrome can resolve after birth. Other treatments may include medications to control blood pressure and prevent seizures. So had the doctors have been seeing her, they would have been able to detect this. And my thing is, so what? They never did any type of blood test? Y'all, if y'all ever, anybody that ever had children, the first thing they do once you find out that you're pregnant, they take all this blood from you. Hey, Cynthia, welcome in. Happy Sunday to you. They take all of this blood from y'all. They have all these, they take them blood tests. That's the first thing they do is take them blood tests. And sometimes, like once you get towards the ending of it, they probably will do another test. So basically, I just really feel like it was a lot of neglect. And all I want to say is, ladies, if you still choose to have a child, during this time of your life, or even if you have children, young adults or whatever that's thinking about having a child, like please educate them on a lot of these things. and make sure that they are really going to the doctor. And another thing, and I'm going to say a legend for this, because I went and bought my prenatal pills. With every last pregnancy I had 4 children. I bought my prenatal pills. I went to Walgreens and I bought my own. I was not going for what the insurance was going to pay me. Was paying for. I was not going for that. So I'm thinking like, what is it? What is they actually giving these mothers? What is they prescribing these mothers, for their bodies just to be like shutting down or stuff like this to even occur? I really just want to know, because how do a 26 or 27-year-old heart just stop after giving birth? How? That could be a lie, but that's what they told the family. But when you think, how their heart just gonna stop? If you've been healthy throughout your entire time of your life, you've been healthy throughout the entire time of your pregnancy, and you come and tell me that my baby heart just stopped after she delivered her child. No, make it make sense. And then I just don't understand. Like, I feel like people should just buy their own prenatal pills. I tried to take the prenatal when I was pregnant, even with my first child, when I realized that I did not like the prenatal pills that was prescribed to me, because first of all, it gave me heartburn. It was giving me really bad heartburn, and then it was like my I was constipated a lot. It was too much iron in it, so I was constipated. I'm like, oh my gosh. So it was very uncomfortable. So I stopped taking them. After the first month of taking those prescribed prenatal pills, I literally took my butt to Walgreens, and I started buying my pills, and I was just fine. I was just fine ever since then, like, for real. I believe, like, and another thing, if your doctor is just not, professional enough to actually, keep up with the appointments, it's not standing on business 10 toes down, go get you another doctor. Like, go to another doctor. Don't keep on sitting around and waiting and stuff like that, especially when it comes down to first time mothers. Like, do not sit around and wait or whatever. Go get a second opinion. Go get things done. Go and talk to somebody that actually had a child and know exactly the way things should be done, throughout the course of your pregnancy. Because, baby, you can't trust all of these people. You can't trust people when it comes down to your life and your baby life, your unborn life. Like, real talk. You just cannot. Let me see what y'all saying up in here. And I'm gonna go ahead and finish cleaning my chicken so I can get it up in the oven. Superfan say, when I pregnant many years ago, I went to the ER in distress. They tried to send me home too. I had to tell them I wasn't leaving. My heart was 3 times normal. They did not give it in, and they won't. They seriously will not. They will send you home so quick, it's ridiculous. For real. They really would. And that's a damn shame. I'm glad you didn't leave me. To me too. She said I was 19 and first time pregnant, but knew it was something not right. Like, for real. Don't let them, because they will do whatever it is. They don't care. Michelle said, meaning you knew something wasn't right, and that's a blessing, because had you went home listening to them, it would have been bad. You were blessed. Michelle said, also get a second opinion. Absolutely. Superfan say, Michelle, yes, I totally believe it would have went very bad. Always trust your body and discernment. Absolutely. Absolutely. And it be a lot of these doctors, they don't be trying to hear you. They think that they just, because of what they learned up in school, they could just tell you about how your body is. Like, no, child. No. If I tell you I don't feel good, I don't feel right, this is not right, you know what I mean? And you don't look into it, how is you to tell me how my body is? Everybody's body is different. You gonna tell me they turn around and ask you, oh, what's your pain from 1 to 10 or whatever? You could tell they ask 11 and they'll still be trying to act like, okay, it ain't nothing. It's not nothing. Why you ask me then? Absolutely, Mom 3. Definitely got to listen to yourself. Know your body. Know your body, ladies. Seriously. Know your body. You know when something ain't right. I don't give a damn how many credentials anybody got. Because at the end of the day, ain't nobody got the credentials that you have when they got to do with your body. Don't let nobody tell you how you feel, and you know that something is wrong when you know damn well that something is okay when you know damn well it's wrong. You know something ain't right. You know something ain't right. Don't let nobody say I don't give a damn if they a doctor. God damn it, I don't care. Go somewhere else. Hey, my aunt. Hey, babes. Happy Sunday to you. Welcome in. So tomorrow, y'all, what I'm gonna do is we're gonna do a little talk about postpartum depression. We're gonna get ourselves a little educated about postpartum depression as well. I really just been wanting to run my hours up as well, and plus I miss y'all, you know. But I had to really talk about this situation because it's really like being a whole lot going on. And when I came across this, particularly these cases, I'm like, oh my God. Y'all, my head was so far into this doggone laptop or whatever. Like, it was just crazy. It was insane. So, yeah, I'm going to start on my notes or whatever as far as for the postpartum depression and see, you know, try to give some clues and, you know, some, a few things of how we can actually not necessarily prevent it because it really can't be prevented, but we can actually, you know, like soften it up for ourselves and, you know, just how to handle it when we do feel a little down and stuff like that. Also, don't ever forget if you start to feel some type of way about yourself, you can always call 988. Literally, that's it. Those 3 numbers, 988 for the Suicide and Crisis Lifeline. So, you know, we're gonna throw out some pinpoints and everything like that as far as how to deal with postpartum depression. Me personally, I don't believe I ever experienced postpartum depression, you know, but I can, you know, pretty much be transparent with you all and probably could let you all know as far as the things that I did when I had my first two kids, you know, and the things that I was doing, probably why I didn't, you know, actually go through those different experiences like that other women probably have. Also, we're gonna do a video, you know, as far as hearing other mothers that actually been through postpartum and you know they made it out, you know, safely and was able to get back to a healthy life. So most definitely. And it definitely would be an open panel. So anybody that would like to come up for the next live on postpartum and you want to share your story or whatever, we can do that as well. So I appreciate y'all. I really enjoyed y'all. Like seriously, it was definitely a nice live. I did a lot of little reading, honey, and I was planning on doing more reading, but you know, it is 2 more ladies that had these same experiences that we have been watching today. And one of them is named Shakima Edwards, and the other one is named Ellen James Robinson. So yeah, you know, I am going to put down the names. I'm gonna make a post on my community wall, and I'm gonna post the names of everybody that we discussed, and you all can actually, if you want to, you can do your own research and stuff like that, and just, you know, look them up and read the cases yourself, and maybe you probably could come up with, some certain things on your own, as far as like why these things are happening, why did these things happen the way that they happen, and pretty much do your own research on it, because I'm pretty sure it's actually more victims that has been going through stuff like this. When it come down to these C-sections, when it come down to these doctors, all of that stuff. So I'm gonna definitely write a post and put the names down there, put them out there, and I pray for the families. May all of these victims rest in peace. May God bless their families, and especially their children. It's unfortunate that these babies had to come into the world without their mother. Like, seriously, that is so sad. That is very sad. They have to come into this world without their mama. Angie, I'll definitely let her know. I'm not at her house right now. I would definitely let her know, honey. Yeah, Mama 3, we gonna get into it. Try to get ourselves educated, and even if we do, know a few things about postpartum, stuff like that, like everybody else, we can still educate ourselves even more and be able to educate others as well. So, depression is it's a very serious topic. And by it's being a spiritual warfare out here at this time, it's just like, baby, we need to be educated in a whole lot of different ways, baby. For real. We need to stay prayed up and all. Seriously. Yes, indeed. But y'all, I'm gonna get ready and head on up out of here so I can get my little baked chicken, season up the chicken, and go on and put this chicken in the oven. And I really appreciate you all coming through and chilling with me or whatever, and having this little conversation. And we're gonna go ahead and get on with our little Sunday, and I will talk to y'all later. I will definitely be up in the other chats and be talking to y'all a little bit later or whatever, up in the other lives and stuff like that, see what's going on, get a little laughter in, and go from there. But thank you all for joining, and definitely keep the prayers up for the victim families and their children. Thank you all. Good night, y'all. Don't forget to hit the like button too, y'all.